first. But I hope you guys are not lost. If you all have questions, please ask.
Like, I'm just curious, is there anyone who actually writes without knowing what they are writing and just goes with the flow with no plan, no ending, no head, no nothing?
Mystic Amy says is wait, but do you have like an end goal, or is it just like you have a rough idea like how it will go, right? But does that not count, ICG?
Because, like, I'm very curious. I have this friend who's always like this. She starts something, she has like a whole plot and outline and stuff like that, and ideas in her head of, oh, I know exactly what this best friend's character is gonna be. And then she doesn't complete writing it.
Well, I mean, sometimes you have the plan. It's just that it's very difficult to get out. So, like I said, like it's very easy. Sometimes what's most comfortable for you might not be what is best for your writing.
Like,
Um,
I don't understand how these people can, find the constant motivation to write without knowing exactly what you're going to be writing about. Like, wouldn't the
Yeah.
procrastination problem be like super intense?
Hmm. There are two actually really famous examples of these writer types, actually. So I have never read Twilight, but I know for a fact that through like lots of interviews and like my friends who really love this series, that actually they had said that the author literally had a dream of the book and knew exactly how the ending was going to be, the middle and the start point. So she literally plotted things out to meet those points that were reached in her dream. So she was 100% a plotter, and that is how she's approached all her other books, from my knowledge. Whereas through many interviews, J.K. Rowling has flat out said many times that she just sat down on a train, got the idea for this voice, and wrote on the train ride the entire draft, the first draft in that one train ride for the book. She definitely added on to it and expounded and created more, but the entire thing just came to her and she sat down and wrote a novel on a train ride. So they're completely different techniques for approaching writing. And so there are some people out there who can just magically sit down and not know what the ending is going to be and not know what the middle part or even what all their characters' names are and just write. And not gonna lie, the first book is one of her most messy books and doesn't have a very strong plot because there are many ways that it's been proven that you could pick apart the thing and Harry wasn't even necessary at all. So that doesn't always work out, but it did create a best-selling novel that was amazing and inspired lots of people to write and read. So she did create something magical from just sitting there and not having any plan whatsoever. So it can be done, but it doesn't always mean that the creation that you create will be good at the end or won't have any plot holes or mistakes or even become a book that eventually doesn't age well or ends up bad in the long run. So it it's kind of a hit or miss. Pantser is a really hard one. Everybody wants to be one, but it's like the hardest thing to say you can do and do well because I can't even say, and I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, I can't even say she did that well on the first book because if I sat down as a writer and went through the books now and read through them all, I'd be like, ooh, 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 yikes. So Pantser is really hard to pull off.
Yeah, I know, but in a sense, both of them still did plotting to a certain extent. Like, they have a paper, and they have certain point forms of what they wanted to do and how the thing connects. Like, I was asking if there's anyone who doesn't have this paper when they write. Means you just open up Inkstone, you don't even look at your past chapter. You probably look at just like the last paragraph of your last chapter, and then you write a new chapter without knowing what, like, without foreseeing the next few chapters at all.
Yeah, that's what she said. The J.K. Rowling said that's what she did. She just went by the seat of her pants and literally wrote chapters by paragraphs, like what was in her head at that moment. And that's why it's like essentially a bit chaotic.
For me, it's like that too. I just know the starting what will happen, that the girl will lose her husband, and then I just know the
Mhm.
ending should be the happy ending. But 99% things in my novel are unplanned. Characters are suddenly popped out. Like, I don't know how I wrote it, but uh, I never planned much. Just I know I should have happy ending to that novel. That's it.
Do you remember
Okay,
all
so
the
like
characters?
a distant end goal, but you're not sure how you're going to get there.
Yeah, and in between those things came out like 500 chapters I planned, and now
Oh,
I'm going above 1K.
the
I don't
secret.
know
Like
how.
you have 800 chapters, my novel. Do you remember every single character and place that you've been to? Cause I can't.
Like, and there are many more characters they will, like, I'm gonna add. I didn't plan. I just add them according to situation and to make that situation happen. 99% things are just came out on time.
Do you reuse those characters for the situation, or are they just disposable?
No, no. I disposed one villain. Just that's it. And whole, like, all characters are gonna. I'm gonna write about them till the end. They are all there. And I recently killed the villain, and my readers cried on his death too. Why you killed the villain?
Interesting. All of you have such different methods.
Yeah, they were like you. My reader said you loved your every character. That you made us cry on villain's death too. And they
Interesting.
were like,
Okay.
this is the first novel we are crying on villain's death. Why you did that? We hated him, and now you are making us pity him. They were like,
Before I get to ITG, I think TTA's method is also quite interesting. Um, because you basically start with the characters and the character's backstory, and then and solving the character's backstory then becomes the plot. Is that right? Okay, so we have people who start with the beginning and the end, and then the middle is whatever will happen. Then we have people who start with the characters. Um, and I'm not sure about the rest of you. Feel free to share like your own. Okay, Kat says she starts with characters and a scene. So just a single scene and then you move from there, or
So normally, sometimes when a novel will pop into my head, it'll be like I'll get these two very defining characters in my mind that are going to be my two main novels characters, and then when they're together, I will have come up with something that just like basically sets off this story point, whether I use this chapter halfway through the story close to the end or at the beginning, it doesn't really matter. Like, for an example, with Tie Him to Me, I got the idea. This is going to sound really strange, but I got the idea of two people meeting for the first time in a bathroom after one of them basically causes an inconvenience for the other, and then they end up kind of almost battling it out with each other through like stares and words without ever actually being like super rude to each other. And that just kind of set off the point where there was this high level tension between them. And I ended up, that was the very first scene I wrote for the novel. And it's a really hilariously funny scene. And it's actually chapter 7 in the book, or 6 or 7. And it's one of my readers' most favorite scenes that that I've ever written. So I literally got the idea for the two characters simply because I got the scene in my head between these two very headstrong characters, and that made the book afterwards. Because once I had written that scene out fully from in my mind onto paper and it came out as like a chapter or two, after I'd gotten that out, I got enough of an idea of what I wanted the characters to be like that I could do character descriptions, biographies, and like plot points where I jotted it down of what I wanted to happen in the novels. I don't necessarily like plot out each chapter, but sometimes I'll put like a bullet point and be like, they need to meet at this point and place. And then how it happens and when it happens is not really set in stone. Like I can say chapter 13 will be this, but then I'll be writing so much that chapter 13 will end up chapter 24. And I don't force myself to stay in the constraints of what I've written. So I just kind of go with the flow, but I do write a general idea so that I can kind of remember and remind myself, because I have crappy memory, of what I was thinking in the first place.
Interesting. That's a nice way to start. XG, to answer your question, my writing style is probably kind of close. I also just go based on scenes, and then I try to squish all the scenes together into something.
Chloe, what do you write? I never read anything that you wrote.
I don't write. I'm a fraud.
No, she did. She wrote
I
a
want
lot
to
of
ask,
prompts.
like, you editors are so, you know how to write and all. Are you guys not writing any book or anything?
Some of us are writers. Some of us are like taking breaks. Also because there's like not much time to write. After work every day, I just want to lie down. I don't know how those of you with jobs do it. Like, just kudos to all of you. I just after work every day, I eat dinner and then I just lie down for a while, and I'm like tired.
It's like a worker who works in chocolate factory but doesn't like chocolates. So
Yeah,
you are
like
surrounded
I
by
want to
so
eat
many books, so
chocolate,
you
but I
don't
can't.
you don't write.
Oh, yeah. Well, technically that counts. Droopy, can you expand on the concept you mentioned? You said you start from a concept. What kind of concept are you talking about?
The wind.
And then while Droopy's typing, Mystic Amy she starts from the plot and then twist and then the main characters. Okay, so then you're open to changes along the way. Twist. Okay. Lolcat says you feel burned out sometimes. That's how you do it. Okay, that's like taking the feeling of being dead inside and then turning into writing. Maybe it's okay. I was just curious. If you feel like you can explain it later on, I would like to hear. Uh, okay, no, it's interesting that. Okay, so it's interesting that you have like. Okay, I get what you mean. Okay, okay, let me just figure out how to put it into words. Um. Yeah, it's like a yeah. Okay, that's a story idea. I guess I think you can just So we're going into style. Okay. We will.
Like, I mean, choice of words is important for authors, right? Do you actually find yourself gravitating towards a certain preferred choice of words when you're writing, or do you catch yourself doing that, or maybe even punctuation styles, or dialogue, or like, boxes and how you italic or bold stuff?
I think for me it's changing, still changing. I can't say I have one style of writing. As I'm writing day by day, it's changing. I don't know how is it happening. I yet to settle that particular style. I am new. That must be the reason.
Like, I want to ask, does anyone refer to their main character with a pet name and not like the name of the main character? For example, if your main character is a doctor, you'll put the doctor da 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 instead of the name of the character da 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 da. Does anyone do that?
I have a doctor in my story, but particular few people call him doctor, but his close one call him by his name. I don't know.
Because I had readers complaining, they were like, I'm so sick of seeing him referred to as the brunette or the doctor or something. Why can't you just use his name? Anyone has that comment or feedback
Yeah.
as well?
Okay. You can add doctor and his name.
I suppose it's just writing preference. Like this one wouldn't. I mean, it could also be like a certain style that you're trying to get across for the story, not just your writing style.
Yes.
You can change your style, like the emphasis you put on certain words or the way you address your characters based on the vibe that you want to get across for each book.
I think this writing style thing applies to those who are really experienced. Like she's writing from since like for 5 years she's writing, so she has her own style. For new authors, it's really hard to say that they have their own style.
Okay, so like Sujinistic Amy said she has something similar. But, I mean, if readers are not keen on it, it could also just be. Yeah, I think the crow is. I don't know where the crow is, but it's like how the general writing Sam always has a chicken. Then I don't know. Maybe this is our new mascot, the crow. Yeah, giving his input. Okay, anyone else wants to share about writing styles or or yeah, just like what works for you. Can I just like ask a question before any of you ask? Sorry, I know I asked your question and I'm not asking a question, but um, does anyone go into the story without planning the ending? I'm just curious.
Me.
Okay, so okay. So you just go and then you don't know how it's gonna end, but when it's time to end, then you end, is it?
No, it's more like I thought I had an idea of the ending, but then I broke up with my boyfriend, so now I don't know what the ending is gonna be like.
Okay.
And I wrote that
Whereas,
based on my ex-boyfriend, so
okay. Whereas TJ says the ending is changeable. As in, you have a rough idea, but you're open to it changing. Okay. Okay, so you kind of have an idea, but you know that it might change, or you're okay with it changing. Okay. Interesting.
like is it possible to write multiple endings? Like is that a thing in story? I'm not sure. I'm considering writing multiple endings. Like ending 1, good ending. Ending 2, bad ending. You choose your end.
You can
Can.
yeah.
Because on one hand you want to murder the person, and then on the other hand it's like, the readers will murder you if you don't give a happy ending.
Suppose actually I feel like I don't know, that idea. I thought I dreamt it. Like, I remember that someone was saying like if they wrote a novel, they would have 7 different endings, and then they publish like all 7 different endings, so that when readers discuss it, they will be like super confused about which ending. They'll be like, "No, this is how it ended," and then everyone's just like, "Oh wait, this is not how it ended," and then everyone would just go crazy trying to buy all 7 endings. It's quite smart because you earn
Reminds me
money.
of the game books whereby you flip to a page and then you choose a
Mm-mm.
and then you have different endings.
Yeah, ending varieties might be nice. You can just pick the ending that you like as a reader. Why not? Okay, but that's true. Like, it would be difficult to guide it towards the multiple endings if the endings rely very heavily on what happens in between, which usually it does. So maybe not 7 different endings, like maybe 2. Just like whether she says yes or says no, maybe. All right. Okay. I'm opening the floor to like general questions. So if you have questions that's not just writing styles, writer types, efficient writing, you can ask. Make it like today is just generally very chill. I'm not sure for those of you who came in later, today is like a very chill session. Today will also be a shorter session because the editors are rushing the mass release event scheduling. So we will try our best. Oh, okay. Lee says that she writes prequels. So it is the best way to reward your readers actually. Like just give them extra content. Yeah, bonus chapters, like little side stories, I think those are really, really good if you're thinking of doing events and then you're like, oh, I'll give you like a Christmas story. Woo, then like or like for Christmas then y'all can just uh like a baby bonus story about the claus or something. Gift giving. You could do a reader insert story. That's actually a good idea. Let me write this down. Not that many people. I think maybe they're like, today doesn't sound interesting. Then they didn't come. Or maybe they're just busy. But the timing might not be good. Next week I'll try to change the timing. Actually, a reader insert bonus story sounds quite good.
It's like for your top voters or your top spenders and the top gifters or something like that. And then it's better if you know them personally and you talk to them before and then you just put them in the story. It's like, oh, I couldn't be there, but I'm there in 2D.
No, okay, do you want to rest? Okay, if y'all have questions later on, y'all can ask me questions later on. Y'all can message me. It's fine. Just checking because like if I'm still here before I dive back into bugging all of you, I'm pretty sure I have to quite a few of you to ask your questions. If you need to go and rest, please go. It's okay. It's just chill question time. The mass release event schedule should be published today. That's why we are trying to get it out as soon as possible. So yes, it should be published today. Please stay tuned, and please try to respond when we ask your questions so that we can get it together as soon as possible. Jupi, we're not sure yet, so we will by ask, please. Recommended page. Which recommended page? Anyway, you just open the app. Go and see. It's already open. Recommended as in not the flash ad, right? The flash ad. Is it the one that like when you first go in and then recommend based on reading preference? Recommended feature. Oh. Maybe when the thingy when you first open the app, then that thing that comes out. What you're talking about? Assuming so. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. I think that one is reading preference. Probably like popular novels that are similar to what you're reading. Based on like genre and text. JC said, no, Chloe's still talking. So desu ne. If I'm not wrong, it's books that you've like previously clicked on, no? That you've like searched before for recommended. Then Tite, I feel like one that you're talking about is features. And I think features sometimes like if it's not updating recently, it might have been updating when we sent it. Then maybe because it didn't go up one time, then it didn't. Other times it is not us who is sending it for recommendations. So as you all know, like we don't always have the power to brain is still not working today, I'm sorry. We don't always have the power to send you all for recommendations or push you all for features. So it might not always be us, and we're not really sure about what the should be. It should be that regular feature regular updates are the base criteria, but sometimes it slips through the cracks. So yeah, if you're seeing books that are recommended or featured that are not updating regularly, they might have been updating regularly when we what's that word? When we suggested it, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, hang on," and then they hung on until they stopped updating, and then they put it up. Ah. Oh, okay. Then I'm not sure. Yeah, the one after the bed. Okay, so the one that I'm not sure though. Those are just like okay. This one I am like really I think this is depending on the marketing team. So I think maybe they go for like a certain genre and then just for it based on your reading preference. So female lead, romance, as CEO. Not only for bestsellers, but it's only for contracted books for sure. Yes, it's contracted books, and maybe it's not based on reading preference, but it's either female lead or male lead. I don't recall seeing translations. I think the last time I opened it, it was A Villain's Wife. So far, I've only been seeing original contracted books. Okay, quite a few of you are here. Okay, no, wait. One. I know some of y'all. I just try and announce it. Okay, never mind lah. I will announce later. I announce now, so like difficult. Alrighty, last. No, Cat, you don't get notified. A lot of the times when you get featured for stuff, you will get notified for certain things like the that show started and the new or on the trending. Like for those, I think y'all get notified. But sometimes we feature y'all and then y'all don't get notified. Especially if you're featuring you guys on external platforms. So if y'all suddenly get collections, you like don't know what you're doing, then it's because we are featuring you on like, social media or our partner platforms or like Google or something like that. So sometimes if y'all feel like you're not getting featured because you're never seen web novel, right? It's okay. We're gonna feature you outside also. So please don't think that we have forgotten y'all. We have not. We'll try our best as long as we can. I mean, possibly so, but also, we could also be, like, simultaneously featuring you. Okay, guys, last call. Ladies and gents. Actually, there are no gents today except. It's my little lambs. Haha. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that it's not there. Because y'all don't see features doesn't mean that we're not working hard for you. Okay, really, last call for questions. If not, I'm gonna go and then chase individually for details so that I can schedule your for mass release event. I'm sorry to cut this short, friends, but we need to hustle. The rest of y'all, please go and rest, go and write, go and have a good Sunday. Oh my god, today is Friday. I'm sorry. Where's my brain? It's gone. I threw it out the window. Okay. Okay, bye everyone.